Alright, quick update for Strong and Stronger. So I'm going to make this pretty quick because not too much is going on for either of them, so I don't want to take up much of your time. Nonetheless, I have changed a few things on this chart. I removed the possibility of this AB equals CD pattern because we did have a break above this previous neckline. The new resistance that we've got on play is $135. What I said in the previous video really still stands. Until we take out these highs, until we start putting in daily closes and pushing up above 115, then I would have to assume that a move down to 84 is still on the table. This is your 2.618 fib down here, but nonetheless, I mean, we're really traveling into the side. Like, we've just been going sideways for the past 2 days, so I don't want to overanalyze this. I don't want to draw fibs for the sake of fibs. I could draw, a bunch of different fibs on here and say, as long as we stay above this, as long as we do this, blah, blah, blah. I really don't think there's any need to. I think, the number one thing to say is we're traveling to the side. So, I mean, we're really not doing anything. Stronger is trying to be a stable coin, but it probably needs to do one or the other, which is either, die or go to the moon. So, once again, 115 solid break needs to happen. I will get more macro bullish on this once we do break 135. Until that happens, I'd have to assume that 84 is still on the table, but nonetheless, I've added one more line onto this chart. You can see we've got a very basic uptrend. I mean, this is really moving at a snail's pace, but we are slowly moving to the upside. So I mean, if we keep on going on at this pace, we might be back at $135 by the end of the year. If we check out when it is, I mean, obviously I don't think it's going to go to the side for this long, but I mean, this is off the chart. This is another couple of weeks or so, but nonetheless, I really don't expect us to stay on this trend line for too long. I think we're either going to do one or the other, break up past 135 and go on a moon rally, or come back down and take out the $84. So that's really all I see for Stronger. We're just going to the side. There's no need to overanalyze this. It's basically a stable coin. I mean, you don't do analysis on stable coins, do you? So I don't need to overanalyze this. Keep an eye on 135. Once we break that, I can become much more macro bullish on this. Now, before I do jump into Strong, I do want to highlight that I do think Stronger is going to be a much better play than Strong. I've been saying that for the past week or so, and it has very much played out. I mean, Strong is down an absolutely diabolical amount in the past 3 days, whereas Stronger is really only down maybe 10-20% or so. I think Stronger is going to put a chart in like this, where it's going to have some chop to start with like Strong did, and then I think it's going to gear up, have a big move into the end of the year. And then I think the same thing is going to play out with Stronger. I think once people, get bored of it, once people move on to the next node, move on to the next Ponzi scheme, it's going to lose, basically all of its market cap. It's going to fall down to zero, and the cycle might repeat. They might bring out a new token, whatever they're going to do to try and keep the Ponzi-nomics running. I don't know, I'm not part of their team. Nonetheless, if we look at what's going on with Strong, once again, there's no need to overanalyze this. If you've watched my past couple of videos, I told you $70 is my last line in the sand. I'm not going to draw any more fibs. I'm not going to draw a fib from high to low and say, oh, as long as we stay, well, I am going to draw it just to prove a point, but I'm not going to say, oh, this is your last line in the sand down here at 14, although I imagine a lot of people would now be keeping their eyes on 14. I'm personally not. I'm not looking at these lows down here. I'm not looking at 14. I'm not looking at any more fibs. I think the weekly close is, the weekly close is coming in 2 days. If we're not above 70 in 2 days, in my opinion, it is done. It is going to zero. That is my opinion. You can disagree with me if you want. But I mean, it's what can I say? It looks like dog shit. The chart is absolutely terrible. I pointed this out. The past 3 days has had the worst selling volume we've ever seen on Strong. Volume predicts price. We're absolutely landsliding right now. If we look at the momentum indicators, starting off with the EMA, daily EMA backtested the short-term moving average at 133, completely fell off the table. I think we have a lot of momentum to pick up to the downside. If we look at the squeeze mom, which is the squeeze momentum indicator, we came back to the middle after this big bearish consolidation to the downside. We reset the squeeze momentum indicator, meaning once it's reset, once it's sitting in the middle, it's ready for either a big move to the upside or, you know, a big pushback to the downside. We reset the squeeze momentum indicator, meaning we've got lots of momentum to come in either way, and we are now picking momentum back up to the downside. So I have to assume that Strong is going to zero. I have to assume that at least $16, like, I mean, like I said, I don't think we're just going to go straight to zero. I'm not like a fool. I'm not saying that we're going to go into a straight line down to zero and that's going to be it. People still believe in this. People are still going to buy this. You know, people are still going to try and get other people to buy this. So I think this just, yeah, I haven't drawn it to the right region, but I would expect a bounce, you know, potentially at 14. I could expect us to come down to 14 and then have a bounce before we do go to zero. I could expect, if we come down to the 4-hourly candles, if we don't break out of this huge bear flag, which I'm not even going to really talk about because the price target is in the minuses, so it's not relevant at all to even extrapolate it. Nonetheless, this triangle pattern that we've got forming on the 4-hourly / 1-hourly is very valid. If we break to the downside of this, if we break below $46, we're going to head to, you know, start heading towards zero. If we do have 4-hourly closes above $50, then I think we could run into this this short-term moving average on the EMA, and we could do something like this, have a fake out to approximately $62 before, you know, going to zero. Or we could even, I don't think we're going to come up to the long-term moving average if I'm honest, but we could even come as high as the 2.618 at $77. But I really have my eyes on between 62 and 70, but like I said, it is very likely that we could come up to 77 before having a big landslide. I mean, it would be completely expected. I mean, we've just gone down in a straight line. Like, this is basically a straight line to the downside. This is, you know, crazy. I mean, we've been rejected super hard off this. We look absolutely garbage right now. So, I mean, we've had these dead cat bounces before that I've highlighted. I mean, sometimes, you know, they're, you know, somewhat decent rallies from the close. I mean, this was like a 60%. I'm not going to measure all the rallies because the number one thing I really want to take away or have people take away is that, in my opinion, if we close on Sunday, which is the 10th, in 2 days time, if we're closing below 70, in my opinion, that's the nail in the coffin and Strong is dead. I have to keep it real. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to add any more fibs. I'm not going to say or lie to you and say, oh, we could do a reversal, go to 1,000. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what I see in the market. Won't always be the most popular opinion. I've said this multiple times before, but I'm not here trying to be the most liked channel. I'm not here trying to be you know, the channel that gets the most views because I'm pulling stupid faces and I'm saying, oh, Strong is going to have a reversal to £1,000 by tomorrow. I'm going to keep it real with you. I think this chart looks like dog shit. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. This chart is terrible. You know, the momentum is picking up to the downside and we have to let it go to rest. In my opinion, it is absolutely cruel to even keep the life support plugged in for Strong if we close in a daily or a weekly below $70. So final note, once again, if we close a weekly below $70, I'm going to have to unplug the life support. We're going to have to give Strong a kiss on the forehead and say goodnight, and we're going to have to just let it die. Like, we can't continue this on. Strong has clearly broken every bone in its body on this, you know, landslide down. It's clearly suffering. We need to put it out of its misery. If it's not over $70 by Monday, I'm done. It is going to zero, in my opinion. Could be wrong. This is not financial advice. This is just my opinion. And yeah, that's really all I see for Strong. So once again, you know, best of luck if you're in Strong. Best of luck if you're in Stronger. I really do mean that. I don't hope that this does go to zero because I know a lot of you are holding Strong. I know a lot of you are fans of it, but I can't lie. I can't say that we're going to have a reversal. The chart looks terrible. I mean, the only reversal I see is a potential dead cat bounce before we roll back over the table. So I could be wrong. By the end of the week, if we're not above 70, I'm going to have to assume that Strong's going to zero. So that is all I see. Best of luck if you're in Strong. Best of luck if you're in Stronger. Once again, none of this is financial advice. Just my opinion on the market. And you've always got to do what's best for you. Cowboy out. Peace.